Hey, thanks for coming. It's good to see you guys here. These are my family, you two. Such a small turnout. It's good to see you guys here.
People waiting downstairs who don't know.
Maybe we should go get them.
Just start. They've gone to other presentations. So.
Okay.
I recognize that yard.
Alright. So how many of you garden at home, grow food? You guys? You? You do, right?
Do now.
You do now. Yeah, this is my grandpa. He helped me a lot on the garden, and maybe I should tell you what my project is first. I transformed my backyard lawn. It's actually one of the properties of my grandpa, which is a multi-family low-income housing unit, and the backyard's pretty large, and we cut all the lawn out, or a good section, about 1,200 square feet, 1,100 square feet, and transformed it into garden beds. And my whole purpose was to start an organic vegetable garden. Welcome, Lila. Hey, what's up? So anyways, my whole purpose for this is that for a long time now I've been interested in sustainability, energy efficiency. Sorry I missed your project, but you have to tell me about it another time. And the most energy efficient way to get food is if you don't have to transport it far or use many petrochemicals or burn many calories trying to produce it. So if you grow food in your backyard, there's a lot of advantages. You don't have to ship it across the country, and hopefully in your backyard you don't have to use giant machines to till up a quarter of an acre or however much land you have. So there's a lot of energy efficiency. And so we all use and eat. We all use things that are made from oil, and we eat food that's produced with oil. And essentially, and I'm talking about gasoline. Essentially, we're eating gasoline, right? So all the energy that produces our food comes out of gas. This is our super energy, and we use that energy by turning it into fertilizers. We use gas as a fertilizer to grow corn and grow rice and grain and all these crops that are our food. We also use oil to fuel the machines that tear up all the fields and harvest, and we use it for pesticides to kill bugs and things that eat our crops, and we use it for fungicides and other things. So our entire agriculture industry is made of oil. And that's going to disappear, so we got to start doing it another way, and that's why I made a backyard garden. So maybe I should get to that. Anyways, this is the plot of land that I turned into the garden, and this is in the middle of summer, so it's all gray, but it was all green when we tore it up, and fresh and strong roots, and it was a worthy opponent. So this is the next stage. After my grandpa used a sod cutter, it was a machine that cut the roots from underneath the grass, and then I came by and rolled up all these sections. They were strips across the lawn of sod that had been cut from underneath, and I rolled it up into little bits and carted it by hand in a wheelbarrow to the back of the yard. And this is me and Nina both working on the yard because it's enormous work to move that all by hand. So we moved it into the back, and right now it's composting and turning back and killing grass and turning back into all dirt.
I mean, none of us can see your pictures on the side of the room because your head's in
Oh, really?
What if she's saying you have a big fat Petrus?
Are you seeing that?
Yeah, basically. So.
I wonder if I could turn this around too, so you guys have two things to look at.
No, don't do that.
No.
No, we don't need that. We just need to move it over so you're not sitting right in front of the pictures.
What about this? Can you see that?
I'll sit right there and put it on the wall.
You can see that? Okay, so here I've torn out all the lawn, and this is the plot ready to be turned into a garden. So early on, before it was time to plant outside, we started plants inside. This is, I guess this is about March.
February 22nd.
What's that?
February 22nd.
Well, this isn't February 22nd because those plants have been growing now for a few weeks. But our first plants that we started was February 22nd, or real early in the season. So there we've got,
Is that a good start?
I don't know, a whole different plants, but only about half of those actually made it into the garden because some of them were just started too early for their type. So after we started seeds and we had the initial plot laid out, then I started making additions to the garden. One of them is a rain barrel to collect rainwater, which looks like this. And essentially this just collects rainwater that runs off the roof, hits the roof and runs into the gutters, and then funnels down this tube into these 55-gallon barrels, which then in the faucet, that gold faucet on the side, we can collect in buckets and use for the garden. The next addition was this cold frame, which is used for once you have plants inside that are being grown in a warm, really protected area inside. Before you can plant them out in early spring where it's really cold, you have to put them in kind of like an in-between house, which is the cold frame, which we tried to build out of these PVC piping and plastic outside. And at first it was a great idea. We could, why is this all out of order?
Which program are you using?
I'm just using a slideshow, but I put these all in order earlier.
It does that with for some reason I've done that before with Windows.
And it changes
Media
the
player
order of
with you.
pictures.
Yeah. Don't ask me
Bizarre.
why.
Technology will torture us.
So anyways, these plants did all right outside for a while. This is inside the cold frame. But after a while, the rain tore apart the duct tape and eventually blew the house down. So that idea was kind of scrapped. And actually one day I came out and this was in the middle of the garden, blown to pieces. And I just took it apart and salvaged what I could from it. But it was alright because it was starting to get warm at that time anyway, so we weren't going to use it. So I moved everything inside to the shop right next to the garden and kept it alive with these lights, which we got for, what was it, like $3?
$2 a piece.
$2 a piece at a estate sale. So real cheap fluorescent light bulbs, not grow lights, but fluorescent, and they kept the plants alive and they were healthy. So after the plants are going, it started to warm up, and I really needed a place to put the plants. So, and of course, I wanted to build a garden. So this is my friend Nick in the T-shirt, and we're starting to dig the beds out. And one moment, I really have some other things I want to show you before I get to this. It's bizarre. Anyways, so here's us starting to dig beds in and put plants in after we mix soil in with the dirt. This is a picture of the dirt in the back. This is a mix of sand, compost, manure, and topsoil to mix in with the existing soil underneath. Which was really super clay and hard to grow things in, and a lot of the topsoil had been removed when we moved the sod, which is the first like 3 inches that we took out. So a lot of organic material and things that are really healthy for soil ecology and the fertility of the garden were removed. So we had to add it back in with this dirt. So here we're starting to put plants in the beds we dug. So these next few pictures are how the beds were dug. And first, so this is just a straight cutter, and I mapped out the beds, outlined them with this, just roughly on the outside, and then these beds are straight columns, and I dig out a rectangle, mix it with good dirt from that big pile, and then dig another rectangle next to it, but this time use that dirt to cover up that section, and then I repeat that process all the way down. Almost like folding over the bed on top of itself with good dirt inside, all the way down the bed. So it's just a systematic process to go through.
Chris, would you say that's the most expensive part of your process, was your...
Dirt? Yeah. We spent about like $400 on dirt.
$250.
$250 on dirt, and then another $250